This video looks at appeal decisions that required the form of the original dwelling house to be identified. The first property is a two-storey end-terraced house where the main entrance was originally in the south-facing gable end elevation. This was not visible on the appellant's enlarged property, but the original design can be viewed on neighbouring properties. The appellant applied for a lawful development certificate, an LDC, to erect a single-storey detached outbuilding alongside the gable wall. The council refused the application. Under E1C, development is not permitted if any part of the building would be situated on land forward of a wall forming the principal elevation of the original dwelling house. The council stated the proposed structure would be situated forward of the principal elevation, considered to be the south-facing elevation. Both the south and east elevations front a main highway. Architecturally, there is very little that makes one elevation stand out from the other. The south elevation has the entrance door with a concrete slab porch, plus a small window and a bedroom window. The east elevation has two main windows. On balance, because the direction of pedestrian access appeared to be from the east elevation, the inspector decided this was the principal elevation. On this property, the appellant applied for an LDC to build a detached garage in the most northerly corner of the garden. Council refused the application, quoting E1C. The new building would be in front of the principal elevation, considered to be the northwest-facing elevation. Upon appeal, the inspector considered the relative merits of the elevations. Northeast elevation is particularly narrow, and other than the entrance door within the ground floor, it's largely devoid of any architectural features. The northwest elevation is expansive, has a far more detailed architectural composition, containing two arched entrances with glazed doors and an array of upper floor windows. The inspector agreed with the council that the principal elevation was the northwest elevation. The appeal was dismissed. From my reading of the appeal decision, it looks like the inspector only considered the current dwelling house, not the original dwelling house. In my opinion, the age of the house and the existence of apparent extensions should at least trigger a consideration of whether there were relevant changes to the original house. But without more detailed images, I can't add any further comment. In the third and final case, we move from the countryside to the city. The property is a three-storey townhouse at a corner location with an east-facing elevation and a southeast-facing elevation. The appellant applied for an LDC to enclose the existing portico with a pair of French doors and two glazed panels. Under A1D, development is not permitted if the enlarged part of the dwelling house would extend beyond the wall which forms the principal elevation of the original dwelling house. The inspector stated that the development would not benefit from permitted development rights by applying this condition. In my opinion, the inspector could have done better here. The inspector failed to specify the wall in question and did not provide any reasoning for assigning the selected elevation as the principal elevation. More importantly, the inspector did not differentiate between the current dwelling house and the original dwelling house. It's obvious that the property is over 100 years old and it has two elevations fronting onto a main highway. It takes less than a minute to do some historical research on the internet to find out that several houses on this London street were totally rebuilt after being destroyed by bombing in World War II. Either of these elevations could have contained the original main entrance. Impacting on which elevation would have been the principal elevation of the original building. In my view, the history of this property should have triggered a consideration of the form of the original dwelling house, and the outcome of the appeal might have been different. If you're thinking of pressing the like or subscribe buttons, thank you. Next week, I consider the definition of fronting the highway, and I look at some cases where this was an issue. Thanks for watching. See you next week.